Good morning, YouTube. I did a video on this a few years ago, but this is another one of Dayton's great false hopes that's been a complete bust. This is Tech Town, and you'll see why it's a bust. See these for lease signs? You know, this was touted several years ago as being all such a great thing for Dayton, but you have all this empty space right here. Parking lot's not even being used to capacity. So if Tech Town was all such a great thing, and you know, was supposed to be such a great savior of downtown, then why isn't there buildings on this space? Explain that to me. But anyway, you haven't heard too much about this place, this whole thing, for probably a good 3 or 4 years from the local media. You don't hear too much about this place, you know, being mentioned, because it's been an utterly shameful bust. See where it says sites for development. Look at all this BS right here. Corner and riverfront locations, high visibility traffic house. Well, looks like it hasn't really panned out that good. Then this other building right here, this only looks like it's half occupied, because when you look at the tenants, you know, listed right here, and of course, look at the parking lot. It's not even being used to capacity. University of Dayton Research Institute here. It's probably a pretty small setup, whatever they have here, but in light of another failed development of the arcade, I just thought I would mention this. Oh, and by the way, the local media, WHIO, mentioned, oh, they mentioned they got 2 new partners for the arcade. Well, good luck with that, bud. But you see what a bust this place really was. You have all this green space right here that should have been buildings. Heck, and just those don't even look like there's lights on the upper floors of this. So while they could tout all this BS about downtown, well, I'll let the evidence speak for itself on this. See, this parking lot here is not even being used to capacity either. And they built some riverfront apartments once again on the other side of Webster Street, which my prediction is that's what's going to happen here, because that'll officially complete the bust that is Tech Town, when they realize, when they shamefully have to make it living conditions and living stuff. And you know what? Downtowns of cities are supposed to be for businesses. They're not supposed to be for really apartments. I mean, well, there's nothing wrong with having a few apartments here and there, and a few lofts here and there. But right here, you see this right here? That's probably a good 15 acres right here in front of me to the railroad bridge. This is proof of nothing but a big bust that should have been development for this all so-called great thing that is Tech Town. It hasn't panned out. And here we'll get a look at, you could see there's only 4 tenants out of potentially 8 or 9 in this building the Taylor Street on Taylor Street right here. So that's more proof of what a bust and failure this has been. We're gonna get a look at this. You have this asphalt jungle, an empty space jungle of this great false hope that never did come to fruition as far as what they had hoped that it would turn out to be. So you see, look at all this asphalt right here and, you know, empty space. And I'm going to show you guys this parking lot here from all sides. You could see that this ain't even being used to capacity either. So, you know, it goes to show you that what a bust this whole tech town has really been. So they always overpromise, but they underdeliver constantly. The only thing they can seem to ever deliver on is just a few apartments and lofts and whatever else they could convert, which that'll eventually be what they'll do here. They'll find a way to fill that in with more apartments and vice versa. But if this tech town was really so successful, this parking lot would be full. And really, they would probably have parking garages, because then there would be enough commerce to have a parking garage instead of just a couple parking lots that are not even being used to full capacity, and so on. So yeah, you go ahead and be the judge for yourself. You know, if they want to be competitive tech-wise, the city's got to do their part to make it competitive by lowering the taxes instead of predatory BS, which I've talked about in other videos before. And there you got those new apartments right there and townhomes across the street, which, you know, if Tech Town was so successful, that it could have probably extended even down there, but they had to give up on that when they realized, well, that there was nothing but failures that abound here. That's the new Webster Street Bridge. They just finished that last year, which they took way too long on that to do. But anyway, so, you know, you be the judge for yourself. And you could see that all this hype development is not what it turns out to be. And, you know, for those of you that don't come downtown, it's easy to get brainwashed by the local media, what you hear. But if you come down here and you actually look around and you see what's really going on, that it's not successful like they want you to think it is. But that's it for this one.